I was a chef at the time, and I had worked really hard to make sure that the rest of my menu was curated from local ingredients. And I wanted to put snails on the menu. So I thought, well, let's see if anyone in New York is raising snails. I did a lot of looking, and I couldn't find anybody raising snails in New York. So I said, let's just find some snails from the US. Looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, couldn't find anything. So I said, well, this is interesting. There are no fresh snails. So we thought, maybe there's something here.
It was not long ago Taylor Knapp realized he'd never tasted a fresh snail, but he figured they had to be better than the canned ones native to American restaurants. At the time, Knapp was executive chef at First and South in Greenport. He knew little about farming and even less about raising snails, so he decided why not establish a snail farm in Cutchogue that he came to name Peconic Escargot, giving added meaning to the term slow food movement. Taylor invited me to the 300 square foot greenhouse where he raises over 11,000 snails on land he leases from the Peconic Land Trust. What's up, Taylor?
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us, man.
All right.
Let's see some snails.
So we're gonna try and wake them up. It's a little early.
Oh, they're still sleeping?
They are still sleeping. They're nocturnal animals, so this is bedtime for them. They were up till probably 5, 6 in the morning, and now
Wow,
it's,
so
now
they're
it's
like party animals.
Party animals. Yeah, slow. It's a slow party. There might be some that are
No hard knocking on the door here.
So, yep. See, we got 1, 2. This guy's kind of moving.
It's an early riser right there.
Yeah, exactly. These are the petit gris, which is it's also known as the little gray snail. We favor these because we think they have a just incredible texture and flavor. So we're really happy with this variety of snail. You want to hold one?
Sure, let's do this. Because the petite gris snail is not native to the East Coast, farming them requires federal supervision. One problem: the U.S. Department of Agriculture has never been asked to oversee a snail farm. So Knapp had to work closely with the agency to come up with a plan that would make sure the invasive species could not escape.
I have no experience as a snail farmer. You know, it's one thing to say, oh, well, yeah, that's cool, I want to do that, but if no one's doing it, there's got to be a reason. The species that we're raising is not native to New York, and it's an invasive species. In numbers, they get out into the wild and they could really do some damage. So the USDA was very concerned about their containment. Came up with this greenhouse idea. No one's ever raised snails in a greenhouse. They wanted a giant like chain link fence with barbed wire around it, and we were able to knock that one down. And they wanted an incinerator on site, and we were able to say, oh, that's insane, we're not gonna put an incinerator inside the greenhouse. We got to the point where we were comfortable with going forward with this plan of building a snail farm out here.
When you start this, I mean, it was more out of, I want local snails, but did you know there was going to be a demand for this, or is there a demand for this? I mean,
Well, there's certainly demand. We did a lot of, I guess, market research before we really started putting a lot of money into it. So, and we came to the conclusion that a lot of chefs were in the same boat that we were. They wanted to have, a fresh local snail product. And for a lot of people, it's kind of just a new protein for them. You know, that's pretty cool. It's going to open up some new doors, some new opportunities, and certainly some new dishes.
so you literally have all the food you need right outside the greenhouse.
Essentially, yeah. Sometimes we have to venture a little farther to get more, and throughout these colder months, it's going to become a little bit more sparse. But there are a lot of great things here for not only humans to eat, but certainly for our snails to eat. So this is kind of good. This is garlic mustard, so the snails love this stuff, and it has a really cool kind of mustardy garlic flavor.
And then this flavor all sort of ends up in the snail as well. So you know what you pick is sort of what you eat.
That's right. Yeah, it's exactly right. So the snails kind of take on this herbaceous, fresh flavor because they're eating all these things.
You want to take a bite of one of these?
There you go. Get that one.
Here's some snail food.
So mustardy, yeah, garlic mustard. Should be garlicky, mustardy. A little bit bitter on the finish.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But not too bad.
It starts out as just like sort of like lettuce and then finishes with this nice like mustard flavor. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Almost a little bit of garlic, a little bit of not quite ginger, but definitely a little garlic. You're right.
So although it took us 4 years to open it up, we've only been selling Snails for about 5 months since June. We've been kind of moving product out, so it's still a very young baby business.
How much has production grown already just in that 6 months?
Well, we've at least doubled our clients, maybe even tripled. Things kind of moved very quickly once people realized that they could get their hands on this stuff.
So tell me about the escargot.
So about a year ago, Taylor said, "Hey, is there a market for snails?" I'm like, whatever. I thought it'd be that canned stuff that everyone else has. And he's like, no, he's growing it fresh, and he had dropped off some of the caviar. Try that, and I think he's probably the best chef out here. So I knew it was gonna be a good product.
What do you think about when you're trying to pair them?
With the snails, they work well with anything because it's just a good base.
Look at that pretty packaging.
Yeah, I guess
this is not the way I remember escargot in culinary school.
No, it's in a stupid can, and you open it up, it smells like tuna fish.
Right.
Yeah. They took off immediately after we had it on the menu. I thought it'd be a really hard sell and no one would buy them. I was like, fine, it'll take up 3 spaces on the menu, no one's gonna get it also. But no, we sell a ton of it.
You thought it'd be fleeting. You'd be like, okay, we'll try it out, it'll be fun. Oh my God, those look so good.
Yeah.
So how many escargot are you going through now in a week?
At the height of summer, 3 pounds out of shell and 20 dozen in shell.
Wow.
Right now it's still down a little bit, but not much. Like I think we're picking back up with snails. Like I said, the snail things, I was very surprised that it's our best seller, most of the snail items. It's weird.
Revolutionizing your business at the same time, making you a pioneer.
You gotta make it interesting.
The opportunity to be able to create an entire new genre of ingredients was one that kind of like drove the whole operation. And seeing that excitement in the face of the chefs and then their diners, that kind of pushed the whole thing forward.
Boxes full of snails are packed into Knapp's car and driven to the Stony Brook University Business Incubator in Calverton.
We're here once a week.
And so what happens here?
So we pack, essentially. So we'll pick snails if it's out of the shell. If they're in the shell, they stay in the shell. And we just make our boxes up to go out.
And you guys don't process anything in advance. Everything is to order, right? So
everything's to order. So if we kind of accumulate the orders through the week, we process all on one day. They all go back out, whether it's being delivered in the city or being sent to Texas. And that's it. It's just like a one-time boom and done. We don't have any inventory, so yeah, it takes a
So how many are you processing today?
How many?
Yeah.
Probably about 4,000 snails today.
Once they are devitalized, the USDA's term for killed, Taylor and his wife Caitlin park themselves at one of the stainless steel work counters and start picking through the snails.
All right, we're here.
So the rush is on.
Right. Yeah, it's begun. So we're gonna take some of these snails.
This is where the husband and wife operation really begins.
This is it. Yeah. Well, Kate does a lot of day-to-day stuff too, but she's my definite right-hand woman on the picking side of things. So yeah, because it takes a lot of time to pick these. So
I feel like she's faster than you with this.
she is.
Working together, a lot of people will always say to me, like, oh my God, how can you work with your husband? Isn't that so difficult? And it is at times, but I mean, I think we work really well together, and I think even though we haven't even been married for a year, I think it's kind of made our first year of marriage easier, and it's strengthened our relationship.
All right,
Yeah,
so is there an art to this?
Pick goes in kind of like this,
Okay.
and you give it a little twist.
So the same way you would if you were, twist. So,
Same direction as the shell.
okay, so yeah, okay.
So it kind of
Like-
goes in this way. Yeah, kind of. We're not going to use that one
Okay.
because you broke it. It's okay.
I broke it? Oh.
Well, you see, this is what we're going for.
all
So
right,
it's
all right.
got to all stay.
Where do
it's
I put
okay.
this
You can
one?
Just put it here.
Put it there. All right, I'm destroying product already.
That's perfect.
All right,
Got it.
nailed it. Have you been sort of surprised by how many people are interested in this, or?
Well, yeah, to some degree we have. We're pleasantly surprised that so many people are enjoying them and want to eat them. But we've also got a big task ahead to convince more people that this is a great, delicious food. So we got to kind of keep pushing to introduce as many people as we can to the product. And
Escargot Nation.
That's right, Escargot Nation. Yeah, eat more snails.
Eat more snails, right?
Yeah.
It was all kind of floated on just an idea, no proven plans that this would work. So we had a lot of steps along the way and fell down a little bit, and so those were those moments where I'm like, oh my God, this is, A, I'm not gonna be able to pull it off, and B, we're not gonna be able to pay our bills this month, or like eat, things like that. And miraculously, we never fell completely back down the staircase after 4 years. So we managed to keep like hitting that next step. So we've been happy and overjoyed to have the success that we have had so far. But we never say, I've never been like, I've made it, this is it, I'm done, it's there. Because it's never the end. But we just have to like live in those tiny little successful moments. Because when you're walking on a tightrope, you got to move forward. So that's it. That's all I got.
At a quirky winery called Wine You Design, you do just that. We followed a group through the year-long process.
When I was younger, I tried my own little attempt at making wines. I bought some supermarket grapes and crushed them and fermented them, and after a while of them fermented and tried to strain them and taste them, and I ended up throwing it all out. It was horrible. And here we are.
Wine You Design is a home winemaking facility. So this is a place for you, your friends, maybe your family. Come here, get together, make a barrel of wine with us. We'll let you pick your own varietal of grapes, your own blend of grapes if you like, and you'll follow those grapes from the process from crushing all the way through to bottling. In step one, the group will come down and crush their grapes so we can begin the fermentation process. When our family returns 1 week later for step two, they're going to press their batch into a barrel. So they're going to separate all the solids from the liquid wine, and we'll discard the solids, and we'll put all their wine in a barrel of wine, prepare it for aging for 11 months until they bottle it at the end of the year.
Your hand and squeeze your fist.
What's great about the process here is you are the winemaker. And so we can mix and match whatever varietals of grapes you want to create your own custom blend. It's all about the entertainment factor here. When Vinny and I started the business, we were adamant about keeping it to the tradition of winemaking, like we did when we were kids with our families.
It reminded me of harvest season in Napa Valley, riding the motorcycle through the mountains of Calistoga. It had that heavenly smell.
This is an opportunity for them to come in, try their wine at the mid-season point, about 5-6 months through, and make some decisions. Maybe they want a little bit more oak, maybe they want a little bit of less oak, and there's some winemaking techniques we can employ to do that for them.
Chin down.
Chin down, I love it. Very good, enjoy. The fourth step at Wine You Design, 11 months away from when they first crush their wine, their grapes, they'll come down and operate our bottling line, and they will have already made labels on our online portal and be able to take their bottles of wine home, and they're going to enjoy it and share it with their friends for years to come.
It's hard to believe it's been almost a year already, 11 months later. I am absolutely impressed. And then now that we've bottled it and tasted it, it's beyond what I expected, beyond what I could have imagined. We've always known you got to spend time with family, so it's just another opportunity for us to join in something and really enjoy it.
Break the show and all.
To great friends, great family, and best of all, great wine. Thanks for being a part of all of it.
Salud.
Chin down.
I ate my way through breakfast at 10 chains on Long Island to determine which one's the best. Be warned, after the top 3, it drops off dramatically. Here are the results.
A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit.
A little mealy, a little soft, not like grandma's.
The enormous burrito.
Bacon and sausage. Be careful, you can injure your jaw eating this thing. Tastes like French toast, really sweet. Overall, this was a solid breakfast.
We will take the breakfast quesadilla. Cinnamon Delight.
They're very greasy and very sweet. The crunch wrap is definitely the winner here. One of their newer concepts. Handheld, sort of pockety thing that's a Taco Bell version almost of a biscuit sandwich or a croissant sandwich. They're onto something here. We have Dunkin' Donuts. We just ordered $30 worth of food there. And this muffin's kind of dry. They seem to do their eggs differently here. They don't scramble them. A fried chicken patty, bacon, cheese, no egg.
I need a breakfast slider.
Wow, that's one processed bun and one processed piece of sausage.
A breakfast toast sandwich.
You can make this at home.
An order of 3 donuts.
This is one hard donut. Not frozen, but hard.
And then 2 waffles with syrup.
White Castle leaves a lot to be desired. This is more of a hockey puck of an egg with the yellow cooked right into the middle. There's something kind of addictive about the McDonald's sausage patty. It's a pretty sorry looking piece of chicken here. Doesn't have really that much bacony flavor to it. This is not a good bagel. It's like one large McNugget. These are very good hash browns. I think the sausage McGriddle was the best thing I had here. Though the Egg McMuffin comes a close second, I guess.
We ordered a bunch of sandwiches. We're gonna take the Chick-fil-A biscuit.
More places need to pair eggs with chicken. The biscuit's a little on the gummy side. Chicken's a little overcooked. Look at these little guys. This is the baby version of what we just ate. They don't have that like weird aftertaste that the McDonald's ones do. You wanna try one? Smoked Canadian bacon and egg. Sausage cheddar sandwich warm. I wish the eggs were fluffier. Mozzarella, tomato, pesto, and a little basil and some olive oil. Egg, cheese, basil, and tomato. We went cheddar this time, onions and lettuce. The steak and cheese, they do a breakfast version with eggs. We decided to put some banana peppers and some onions on this one. They're better than some of the eggs we've had. And finally, we're here at Panera Bread. Quiche. That crust is pretty flaky. Interesting use of a bagel. There's a lot of calories in here. I don't like egg whites, but these aren't bad egg whites. And I like the pieces of turkey sausage inside. Eggs are fluffy. Steak is meaty. Look at that. We've eaten our way through 10 breakfast chains on Long Island in 3 days. That's a lot of salt, a lot of fat, and a lot of cheese, and a lot of eggs. And after it all, Panera Bread with their steak, egg, and cheese sandwich seems to have eked out the rest just by a little for the best breakfast sandwich on Long Island. Among the latest trends to come from the city, over-the-top milkshakes. They give a new meaning to the phrase sugar fix.
So today we're actually doing the Guilty Pleasure. It's one of our most sold milkshakes for this actually past 4 weeks. So one of the things about the Guilty Pleasure is that it's always a mess. It's a guilty pleasure, so it's always an overload of everything. We like to put this here so we kind of know where we're going with things. Depending on who is doing your milkshake, they like to split the Pop-Tart. I actually like to put it fully. Then we just like to have fun and put more like a brownie here and basically do like an overload version of things. So every milkshake that I have here, it came out from my taste, my personal taste, and how I wanted to bring it to like a milkshake form. The most truly enjoyable thing is when a kid just sees that milkshake and that's what it flows and they're like, whoa, oh my God, that is awesome. So that's what I thrive on. Like when I see that factor and they like the crazy things that I do, that is what I like. We got a little bit of everything for everybody, so we like to make everybody happy. Hey, you guys wanna try this? Yeah. It's called a Guilty Pleasure.
Thanks for watching us on Feed Me. Visit newsday.com/feedmetv or visit us on our social media pages to find the best places to eat on Long Island.